Most likely, when you were growing up, your parents never told you that the reason you need to go out and play to be active is so that your muscles would release messenger molecules that keep your entire body healthy. Turns out, when our muscles contract, they release chemical messengers that help the rest of our body reduce our risk for falls, improve brain health, manage our weight, and support both cardiovascular and immune functions. This figure shows the skeletal muscle on both sides of the adult body. Do you notice anything about the amount of muscle required for healthy function of the body? Unfortunately, aging is a significant contributor to the loss of muscle. You've probably heard of osteopenia, which is the loss of bone tissue. Sarcopenia is the loss of muscle. Muscle decline begins as early as age 30, with muscle mass decreasing by about 3 to 8% per decade, depending on your activity level. This rate doubles at age 60. This is a problem because corresponding loss of strength occurs up to 3 times the rate of this muscle loss, making it more difficult to complete daily tasks. Since muscle is so important in keeping us from falling, you can see why fall risk increases as we age. You can start losing significant muscle mass in just 5 days of physical inactivity. Lack of muscle activation is the primary cause of this loss. Muscles, tendons, and bones all need to be used to maintain proper size and function. The good news is that it's never too late to build muscle. In order to further convince you why it's so important to incorporate resistance or weight training into your routine, we're next going to review 4 more ways that muscle supports our overall health that you might not have known before. Moving our muscles during exercise increases production of a messenger molecule called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. Why is this important? Because in the brain, BDNF increases the production of new neurons, increases the strength of synapses, improves the quality of communication between different parts of the brain, and increases the volume of the hippocampus, which is your short-term memory. Lastly, this BDNF helps improve memory and processing speed. All of these things are very exciting ways to prevent dementia. Moving your muscles helps regulate blood sugar levels and assists with weight loss. Muscle contractions stimulate the uptake of glucose without any additional need for or reliance on insulin's assistance. This is great news for those of you with prediabetes or diabetes that have insulin resistance. Skeletal muscle absorbs more than 80% of glucose after your meals, especially when you take a light walk 30 minutes after you eat. This is a great way to bring your blood sugar down. In general, your muscles take up to more than 100 times more glucose from your blood while they're active during exercise compared to when you are sitting or resting. This is important to think about because if the sugar is not absorbed from our blood into our tissue, it's stored as fat. Another perk is that greater amounts of muscle enhance our metabolism and help us use calories more effectively. Did you know that our metabolism can remain elevated, burning at a higher rate up to 48 hours after we complete strength training? This means that even after we're done exercising, sitting in front of the television, we are burning calories at a higher rate. Healthy muscle supports cardiovascular health. Regular resistance training significantly reduces arterial stiffness and improves the elasticity of blood vessels, helping to improve our blood pressure. Resistance training also improves cholesterol levels by boosting HDL levels, which is the healthy cholesterol. Next, let's take a look at the effect of muscle on our immune system. When muscles contract, they release numerous proteins. These proteins help reduce inflammation and boost our body's defense against disease. They also produce a vital energy source for the immune cells, enhancing their ability to fight when needed. In fact, just a single bout of strength training increases the number of white blood cells and other immune cells. After hearing all this, you might be more on board with adding a resistance training program to your weekly routine. So here are a few tips to consider before doing so. First, consult with your doctor if you're not currently exercising or you have different cardiovascular risk factors. Remember that connective tissue in our tendons and ligaments gets less elastic as we age, making it easier to pull a muscle. Therefore, make sure to warm up for at least 10 minutes to get good blood and oxygen flow to your tissues before you begin working with weights. You may consider working with a trainer, at least initially, or taking a class so that you can learn proper form and to avoid injury. Start light and build up to at least 30 minutes of strength training on all your muscle groups 2 or more days a week. Don't exercise the same muscle group on any 2 consecutive days to give them a rest. A good goal is to work up to at least 10 repetitions on any exercise before you increase the weight. In addition to weights, you can also consider using resistance band or household items such as cans or bottles of water. As you grow stronger, there are other ways to progress your strength and build it up without having to buy more weights if you're working out at home. For example, you can again increase the number of repetitions to build muscular endurance, or you can slow down the tempo of each exercise to decrease reliance on momentum. After hearing all this, we hope that you'll consider viewing muscles as medicine and look for ways to incorporate resistance training into your weekly routine. Thank you for taking the time to listen at The Village's Health.